Welcome back. This is an important segment on the Transcend Your World workshop, and it is a core platform, and this is something that everyone aspires for. So what I'm going to talk about now is abundance. What is abundance? What is the spiritual meaning of abundance? And I'm going to unpack the mind map on abundance so that you can clearly understand what it's about. And then when you connect the information here with the session before, which is your relationship with abundance, it'll give you a really good picture that is holistic and holographic on this whole topic of abundance. Now, abundance, when you actually look at the word abundance and you split the word, okay? Ab here, AB means no. B-U-N-D, bundle. A-N-C-E, presence. So when you split the word abundance, ab is no, B-U-N-D, bundle, in your presence. So so abundance requires you not to have anything that you're holding. No bundle in your presence is another meaning for abundance. How can God, the universe, give you abundance when you are holding onto things? So the principle of abundance is not to have stuff that you're hanging onto, that you're carrying. Because if your hands are full of things of your world, how can God give you abundance from His world? So that's a distinction that's important to understand. So what is abundance? Abundance, first of all, is awareness of your being in unity with destiny, actualizing now in conscious experience. I'll say it again. Abundance is the awareness of your being in unity with natural destiny, actualizing now in conscious experience. So when you look at that spiritual definition of abundance, where is material wealth in all this? You will not see material wealth here at all. Material wealth becomes a byproduct of abundance. But within abundance here is freedom, is love, it's joy, it's harmony, it's peace, it's oneness, and all those wonderful qualities that are intangible. So first of all, abundance, all this is intangible. It is non-material. That is what abundance is. And so the Trinity of the cornerstones of abundance is the top three: awareness, being, unity. So, what is awareness? Awareness is a knowing, first of all. And the interesting thing about awareness is that awareness has to be at three levels: your mind, your soul, your spirit level. And awareness requires your consciousness to be aware of those three dimensions in a knowingness of what's going on. So awareness requires you to be fully present in what's going on. You know who you are. You know where you are in relationship to the universe. You know where you are in relationship to your highest purpose. You know where you are in the microcosm of all the relationships in your life and what's going on. So instead of going round in circles and existing like a lot of people are doing, you are living in love and light and evolving. So to live in love and light and be evolving requires an awareness at mind, soul, spirit level. And the knowing requires you to be connected to spirit. You cannot have this knowing in your head, because knowing in your head is unreality. Whatever the mind creates is a story. And we said yesterday, a story, S-T-O-R-Y, is your soul terminating oneness in reality in you. Stories are nice, but they terminate reality in you. Because the story then creates something completely different from reality. When you look at reality, everything just is. There's no story attached. So, this is a whiteboard marker. It is blue. It is, it has writing on it. You can create a story with this whiteboard marker. This whiteboard marker has a name. The cat flies off. It goes from here to here. It does this, it does that. You can create a story with this whiteboard marker. You can create a story with anything. So, the knowing has to be an integrated experience and perspective of what is going on. Let me say it again. A knowing has to be an integrated perspective of mind, soul, spirit of what is going on. So this is what a holistic perspective, a holographic perspective means. So the word holistic, holographic are slightly different. Holistic is taking into consideration everything. Holographic is when you look at something small, a part of something, you can see the whole in it. And when you take a holographic perspective, you can actually see ingredients of what's going on in context with the whole picture of what love is doing in the universe. So that's awareness. And awareness is something that all of us need to work on in terms of expanding our consciousness, expanding our work. And how you do that is by spending some time on you, sitting in meditation, building your inner guidance with introspection and silence, then increasing your knowledge on a whole lot of things. Because what you know limits you. Now, I just want to digress for a moment in terms of knowledge and learning. When you learn something, you are not putting something from outside that you do not really know inside you. We are taught that when we learn something, we have information that we do not know and we put it in our heads. The reality is actually the reverse. When you do not know something, you don't have connection with it. When you learn something, you're putting it inside you and really reconnecting with what you already know. Because when you can connect to the universal mind and the divine mind, you have access to everything. And this is what happens when spiritual people channel stuff. Lee Carroll, who channels Cryon. The stuff that turns up is profound in terms of metaphysics and everything else. Lee himself doesn't know it. He just taps into, this high being called Cryon that channels all this stuff from universal wisdom. You can read my journalings from the Akashic records over the last 2 years. You can see stuff in there that's profound universal wisdom. It's not from my head. It's just me tapping into divine wisdom and just bringing it through. And so this awareness is about you being able to be present to all those things. So that's the first thing. And what does this mean? For you to have more abundance, you have to expand the awareness in your world. If you don't have abundance, it's because the awareness of your world is in a box. So when you get out of that box of your awareness, things start to shift. The next foundation of the Trinity of abundance is your being. You are a human being, not a human doing. Being is all about stillness of your inner world in intimacy with the gratitude of nature. So it first starts with stillness. So you cannot be in beingness in doingness. You have to first sit still, and then go inside. And you as a being is connected to everything. So in being, you cannot be separate from this earth, because we are all connected to the earth. We are all part of the earth. The earth needs us. We need the earth. And so being connected with the earth is really important. And then your inner world requires you to go into intimacy with self. And the word intimacy is into me I see. And that's beingness. Now, the word being, B-E-I-N-G, is becoming engaged in intimacy of nature with gratitude. And the nature is both Mother Nature and the nature of yourself in terms of human nature. Being, B-E-I-N-G. So the being of who you are is extremely important. So if you are not spending time in you being, that is something very important for you to shift your balance. Which is why I asked you to do that exercise on time before, to look at where your time's going, how much time you're spending with yourself, and looking at the things that are important but not urgent, and for you to schedule those in. If you do not schedule the things that are important and not urgent, they do not happen. So this is being. And then in the beingness, once you have intimacy with yourself and you connect with Mother Gaia, then the expression of your being is simply gratitude. With nature, the environment around. And that includes people. So this is being in abundance. The third trinity of the foundation of abundance is unity. Unity is about connection with everything. However, it first starts with the reality of everything going around in a universal perspective. So it first starts with the universal reality. You are on Mother Gaia, planet Earth, and the nature of all around and the essence of all that. So in our three-dimensional world, the only reality is nature. Anything outside nature is unreality. So we create a lot of unreality in our minds. So the unity is this connection with everything. And what it means is that your life should be a movement from separateness towards oneness. So you can look at your life and see, where am I separate from everything? Our modern life is a series of compartmental boxes that we float from one box to another, and the boxes are separate. Our working world is separate from our home world. Our home world is separate from our extracurricular activities, whatever we go on. Our relationship with this person is separate from our relationship with that person. And we tend to have our life in boxes. And so unity is about breaking down the barriers of the boxes and having things just blend together in our lives. So they're the three important ones. Then, after you've got these three, the next one happens naturally as the process of evolution. It's about destiny. Destiny is the evolution of your soul journey with a legacy that you are leaving the world, and your life becomes an expression and alignment to that legacy. Say it again. Destiny is the evolution of your soul journey, leaving a legacy for the world, and your life then becomes an expression and alignment with that destiny. Now the destiny you leave should be your highest purpose, not your higher purpose. A lot of people get hooked onto their destiny as one of their higher purposes because they don't do the work to find their Mount Everest, which is their highest purpose. So this becomes a significant part. And then after you get that, the next part is the action, actualizing. This word actualizing is a very powerful word. Actualizing is action in the now, creating a reality. That's what actualizing is about. And so it's the presence of now, where you are, reality with your focus and attention onto that. So I'll say it again. Actualizing is action in now, creating and manifesting something. That's what actualizing is. And so then, what's now? Now is the present moment. In all the dimensions of now, with all your senses being activated in now, which is sight, sound, smell, touch, etc. And then, if you are not engaging your peripheral vision, you are not in now. So when you engage your peripheral vision, you are in now. When you engage in focal vision, you're in your head. And then, when you are in now, you are in the zone of no time. No time means that you are not in the past, you are not in the present. Because when you are in your head, you are not in now. When you are in your head, you are either in the past or you're in the future. When you're in your head, you are not in now. Because you're thinking about what happened before and you're thinking about what's supposed to happen in the future. And all the planning. Then all the stories that go on take you past and present. Then, conscious experience. What is that? Well, conscious requires your whole brain, awareness of the knowing and discerning of everything that's going on that's real, and then your being responsive to that. And so, responsive is different to reaction. The difference between responsive and reaction is this. Something happens and you react from program. The program kicks in and you go, "Arr!" That's reaction. Responsive is when something happens and you sit in mindfulness, in equanimity. And then from critical and clear thinking and tuning in, you can respond appropriately. And this response is really important because we are programmed by a lot of teaching that abundance, you just sit there with your hands open and expect the universe to drop it in. Now, occasionally that might happen, but most times there is a response that's required from us for all this to happen. And then the last one, E, is experience. What is experience? Life is about our experience. And we are to have the best time on this planet. We're supposed to have a lot of fun, be able to play, experience joy, experience freedom, experience happiness, experience laughter, and have the best time. And when you look at the definition of life, life is love infusing fullness for your evolution. And the fullness is your cup of joy, your cup of happiness, your cup of freedom, all that full. So if you're not enjoying life in its fullness, you're not experiencing life, you're just existing or moving in between the two. So experience is about your senses and your feelings, the inside of what's going on from a holistic perspective, and the oneness has to come into it. So abundance is you moving more into oneness. So if you don't have abundance in your life, one perspective and view is that you've got too much separateness in your life, and too much in your life is in compartmentalized boxes. So this is abundance. Within here is not lots of monetary wealth. Money is not part of this. Here is the definition of money. Now on the USB stick that I've given you is a lot of words in terms of what it means. Now here's what money means. I think I should put this up. Money. Money, M-O-N-E-Y, is the material offering nominated as exchange with yourself. That's all money is. People can call that an energy, that's fine. But money is something tangible. It is a material offering. That's all it is. And our money today is worthless. Our whole financial system is fraudulent and based on fiduciary banking. And the problem with money is this. The energy of money is a spiritual principality with a name called Mammon. Mammon is the Babylonian god. And money came into the world in the days of Babylon, some 5,000-6,000 years ago. And this entity has gripped the entire world. And is incredibly powerful, and it grows as time goes on. Because the energy of money and everything around money feeds this principality. So everyone born into this world, in their DNA, because when you look at the science of DNA, it's affected by environment. Everyone born into this world gets imprinted with the energy of money, the need for money, the lack, and all that. So at a spiritual level, this whole issue of money has powerful spiritual roots, and it is designed to enslave you. Money does not give you freedom. Money enslaves you because you are trapped by the need for money. And when you look at the word need, a need is a negative experience feeding your expectations directly. Anytime you have a need, it's a negative experience in the past feeding your expectations. And the Bible says, have no need. The biblical principle in the book of Matthew chapter 6, which I repeat lots and lots, says this: do not worry about the food that you eat, the clothes that you wear, or the roof over your head, because my Father in heaven takes care of these things. Look at the lilies of the field and the birds of the air. Even Solomon, the richest man in history, was not arrayed in such splendor. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Therefore, when you learn and understand the principle of this verse, there is no such thing as a need.
Where is that in the Bible?
Matthew chapter 6. And so understanding what all this is in context with abundance is important. Now, we all talk about wealth. What is wealth? Okay, here's what wealth is. W-E-A-L-T-H, the wellspring of eternity in abundance, flowing in love in time to human form. I'll say it again. The wellspring of eternity in abundance in love, flowing in time to human form. Wealth, W-E-A-L-T-H. So I ask you again, where is money and material assets in wealth? In this definition, there is none. Material assets and money in wealth is simply a byproduct of this happening. However, our language and our minds have been programmed by the energy of money so much that wealth, abundance, love, freedom, and all these wonderful intangible things are related to how much money and wealth and material assets you have. That's our programming and thinking. So when you understand the principles of this and start to deprogram yourself from this, you can see this shift in your life. Any questions? And this will take some time to sink in, which is why I recommend you watch this video a few times. Excellent. I will pause it as well.